Education plays a pivotal role in development. When the methods of teaching and teaching itself are good, not only does the quality of education increase, but children go to school and get the right education as well. After the 1994 genocide perpetrated against the Tutsi, education was among the sectors that had been severely blighted. In order to restore its image, there was a need to adopt modern strategies of education, which not only allow teachers to efficiently do their job, but also help students participate and clearly understand lessons. Against this background, the Protestant Council of Rwanda, CPL, as one of the stakeholders having a lot of schools in the country, came up with a new method of teaching that puts students at the center of teaching and gives them an active role to play in their education. The new pedagogical approach that CPL came up with in collaboration with education specialist Dr. Christian Gret was dubbed Participatory and Active Pedagogy, PAP in acronym.
We realized that this pedagogy, which allows students to play a part in their learning and teaching process, could help them be more open in class, carry out research, use their knowledge and skills, share ideas with others, and this spurs them to be more studious. Nevertheless, we found that teachers could not do that if they kept using the old teaching method. The pedagogy was found to be better, and this is something we have been seeing. In 2010, we commissioned a renowned university from Nuremberg, Germany, to do an evaluation which revealed that the new pedagogy we are introducing in schools not only has an impact on students' learning and teaching, but also on the personal level and individual interaction with others as well.
No ku buryo bw'imyigishirize no ku buryo bwa muntu ubwe no na bwa muntu mu kubana n'abandi.
There was a consultative meeting on findings from a research conducted by the German University of Nuremberg on the role and outcome of the new teaching method in schools.
Research conducted in schools where the participatory and active pedagogy program was introduced, and in schools in which teachers were not initiated into the program, proved that within schools where the program was piloted, involving students in their teaching process imbued them with more confidence. It also helped reduce the energy that the teachers spent preparing lessons, talking in class and teaching. Students now have a greater role to play. It has also built confidence between students and their teachers.
In general, the new method took effect in CPL schools throughout the country since 1998. Since 2007 up to now, there has been training for secondary school teachers on the new method. Beneficiaries of the training say that the CPA method is easier as it does not require a teacher to do miracles. Instead, the teacher draws from the students' surroundings to help them clearly understand their lessons.
Quite often, you use real-life examples that students are familiar with. You use that as your didactic material.
We divide them into groups, and by working together, they first come up with what they know on the subject. After, they make a presentation of what they have generated depending on the subject you give them. Once they have finished presenting, you add your input to that, but in most cases, it transpires that students have a lot they know. In my perspective, and from the discussions we hold with students, if I compare the previous pedagogy to the current one, they are very much responsive to the latter, and it helps them to be more creative, and you can see that they are fairly knowledgeable. It also pleases them, and if you assess it, it is productive. Another positive aspect is that the method we're learning is helpful to teachers. A teacher would go from the morning up to the evening speaking. At times, he or she would get weary and spend some hours resting. But since the big part rests with students in the new method, a teacher only monitors them and does not use much more effort. He or she still has energy in the evening to monitor the students and teach them without any problem.
ashobora no kugeza nimugoroba agifite ingufu zo kuba yakurikirana abana bigisha neza nta kibazo.
Josue Michel Ntaganira is the head teacher of John Wesley Institute, Kibogora, in Rusizi District, Western Province. He says that unlike the former teaching method, the PAP method proved remarkably fruitful in schools where it was applied.
Our school is owned by the Free Methodist Church in Rwanda. In the past, it faced a number of problems. The performance of students was really an issue, and there were almost no scholarships for students finishing secondary. Then, the CPR introduced the PAP method. Learning for students immediately improved. Teachers were trained, and thereafter, the outcome was satisfactory. We went down from 0 scholarships to 6 in the first year, and then got 11 in the following year, and we've now got 40 scholarships. In addition, 100 or 98% of the students pass. This implies that the method has brought visible changes.
Students on their part have held their involvement in the teaching process since it helps them fully comprehend their courses. In most cases, they start by sharing ideas among themselves.
When you learn something while in a group, it is hard to forget it and you learn more. Before, they used to come and write on the board and provide explanations later. Some would understand, but others wouldn't. But we all now understand.
It
is clear that we work harder than teachers. They give us a lot of things that we discuss among ourselves. A teacher only helps us with more clarifications. It is beneficial because there are things I don't know and others that I know which I keep for myself because I have nobody to share them with. We also talk about them when my colleagues and I are sharing ideas in groups, and I find it very much beneficial. It can incite even those who otherwise would not dare giving their input to express their ideas because you have no fear of your colleagues. But at times you may fear your teacher and therefore dread speaking up.
As well as bringing about good interaction between teachers and students, which is deemed very critical, the pedagogy dispels fear of teachers among students.
Fear makes students less expressive in class. They cannot even raise their hand to express themselves. After the 1994 genocide perpetrated against the Tutsi, there was a worrying sense of fear among people, particularly among children. So we wondered, will our pedagogy keep on entailing one person standing in front of students lecturing, teaching and talking without any feedback from the students, and in case anybody asks a question, get lashed? We found that we needed to change our pedagogy so that students could sit in class and be able to interact with the teachers.
Interaction between a teacher and students is critical for improved quality of education because students feel free to talk to their teachers and ask questions about anything they do not understand. Teachers monitor a student knowing his or her weak side, and they start from that to help the student improve. In case they find that a student is weak, they make sure that groups are balanced so that students can share ideas and help each other.
The PAP method not only did bring about changes in learning and teaching, but also helped to mend relations among the teachers' fraternity, which had apparently turned sour after the genocide.
The teaching process improves, but this method has also improved on human values. We care about that very much in this program. Given the history of our country, it is important that people cherish certain values, whether in their thinking, lives, and emotions. Let's say democratic values, social values, and being considerate, that they should not be deprived of anything they are entitled to. We also take that into consideration. Wherever we train people, these values help them get back together, work together, and talk to each other once again. They can sit together, share ideas, help each other, and realize some achievements.
bakaba bakwicara bagatekerereza hamwe bakabona umusaruro.
bwa buryo bwariho kera bwo gushaka ku
The previous method of loading knowledge into the students' heads, whether good or bad, and they cram it without much knowledge about it, is no longer applicable. You know the outcome of that method, whereby a student would be trained, become knowledgeable, but would not tell the difference between right and wrong. He or she would not even say, well, this is good for me and this is not. However, the PAP method helps a student to grow knowing to distinguish the right from the wrong. He can tell what is good or bad for him.
All these accounts are testimony to the role that the new pedagogy gives to students in their learning and brings about the essential warmth between students and their teachers. As a result, the Protestant Council of Rwanda decided to initiate teachers and students into the new pedagogical method, starting down from the level of nursery school. Education specialist Esther Gret assisted in the launch of the program.
We began training nursery school teachers back in 2007 so that they can learn how to teach while involving children in their education. Didactic material, as you can see it, helps students to be creative. They examine something, touch it, press it, and sometimes may give it a cloud to find whether it makes any sound. So when the child is doing that, he or she can tell things apart. Nursery school students are young children aged between 3 and 6 years. At this age, they cannot learn anything if it is not in front of them. They start with things they can see, touch, push, and memorize.
The Ministry of Education has also outlined strategies aimed at promoting the sustainable application of the new pedagogy and to teach students aspiring to become teachers about the new method.
Can transform education is a change in our pedagogy. We should put the students at the center of the learning and teaching process so that they could play a part in their education. I think you've seen that this method is founded on that. Also, in that research, as I have been saying, there are positive things that were identified and others that we could improve. This means that they left us with a foundation. The ministry has also followed in the footsteps. We chose to launch the program at the KIE and in other institutions that train teachers. We want them to change their pedagogical methods so that basically the child plays a part in everything he or she does.
The mission of the Protestant Council of Rwanda is to provide quality education to Rwandans. In view of that, the CPR has been donating modern equipment such as computers to schools around the country. There is a need to teach the modern and efficient pedagogical approaches to teachers, but every stakeholder's role is paramount for this target can be achieved.
Nabwira abarimu nti
I would like to tell teachers that God gave them a good job. It is really a good job. It is a tough job that we have to care about, though payment is not worth the effort required. It is a worthwhile job that needs sacrifice. Secondly, I'd like to make a call to everyone that we should not aim for payment in our job as usual, even if we should get something to live on. The real remuneration is to succeed in educating a child. It is like helping God to create. From that education, he or she becomes knowledgeable and evolves into a prominent woman or man in the country. When you see that, you feel delighted.
mu gihugu iyo ubibona urabyishimira.
Ubutumwa tubaha.
Our message is that they keep progressing. They should know that education is pivotal to the development of our country and others as well. They should take care of children and love them because that is of a critical importance in education, to tend to them, to stay with them, and show them that you cherish them. Another thing is working hand in hand with parents. There are parent committees in every school, so they should endeavor to work together because education entails a lot of actors. There are parents, teachers, and society. They should know how all those actors can work together to nurture and promote education.
As time goes by, education evolves. It is imperative that teachers, students, and other education stakeholders move with the times in a bid to provide Rwandans with quality education